will die. Atalanta was certain these harsh conditions would discourage everyone from wanting to marry her. But she was wrong. Her strength and grace were so compelling that many men volunteered to race against her, and all of them lost their lives. One day, a young stranger wandering through the countryside stopped to join a crowd that was watching a race between Atalanta and one of her suitors. When Hippomenes realized the terms of the contest, he was appalled. "No person can be worth such a risk," he exclaimed. "Only an idiot would try to win her for his wife." But when Atalanta sped by, and Hippomenes saw her wild hair flying back from her ivory shoulders and her strong body moving as gracefully as a gazelle, even he was overwhelmed with the desire to be her husband. "Forgive me," he said to the painting loser being taken away to his death. "I did not know what prize she was." When Atalanta was crowned with the wreath of victory, Hippomenes stepped forward boldly and spoke to her before the crowd. "Why do you race against men so slowly?" she asked. "Why not race against me? If I defeat you, you will not be disgraced, for I am the great grandson of Neptune, god of the seas. And if I beat you," Atalanta asked, "if you beat me, you will certainly have something to boast about." As Atalanta stared at the proud young man, she wondered why the gods would wish one as young and as bold as Hippomenes to die. And for the first time, she felt she might rather lose than win. Inexperienced in matters of the heart, she did not realize she was falling in love. "Go, stranger," she said softly. "I'm not worth the loss of your life." Since Hippomenes eagerly sought the same, Atalanta was forced to give in. With a heavy heart, she consented to race the man the next day. In the pink twilight, alone in the hills, Hippomenes prayed to Venus, the goddess of love and beauty. He asked for his help in Hippomenes' prayer, and she was only too glad to help him, for she wished to punish the young huntress for despising love. As if in a dream, Venus led Hippomenes to a mighty tree in the middle of an open field. The tree shimmered with golden leaves and golden apples. Venus told Hippomenes to pluck 3 of the apples from the tree, and then she told him how to use them in the apples in the race against Atalanta. Under his tunic, Hippomenes hid his 3 golden apples. When the trumpet sounded, the 2 shot forward and ran so fast that their bare feet barely touched the sand. They looked as if they could run over the surface of the sea without getting their feet wet, or skim over the fields of corn without even bending the stalks. The crowd cheered for Hippomenes, but Atalanta rushed ahead of him and stayed in the lead. When Hippomenes began to paint and his chest felt as it might burst open, he pulled one of the golden apples out from under his tunic and tossed it toward Atalanta. The gleaming apple hit the sand and rolled across Atalanta's path. She left her course and chased after the glittering ball, and Hippomenes gained the lead. The crowd screamed with joy. But after Atalanta picked up the golden apple, she quickly made up for her delay and scooted out of Hippomenes. Hippomenes tossed another golden apple. Again, Atalanta left her course, picked up the apple, then overtook Hippomenes. As Hippomenes pulled out his 3rd golden apple, he realized this was his last chance. He reared back his arm and hurled the apple as far as he could into a field. Atalanta watched the golden ball fly through the air, and she hesitated, wondering whether or not she should run after it. Just as she decided not to, Venus touched her heart, prompting her to abandon her course and rush after the glittering apple. Atalanta took off into the field after the golden apple, and Hippomenes sped forward toward the finish line. Hippomenes won Atalanta for his bride, but then he made a terrible mistake. He neglected to offer gifts to Venus to thank her for helping him. Enraged by his ingratitude, the goddess of love and beauty called upon the moon goddess, Diana, and told her to punish Hippomenes and Atalanta. As the moon goddess studied the 2 proud lovers hunting in the woods and fields, she admired their strength and valor, and she decided to turn them into animals they most resembled. One night, as Atalanta and Hippomenes lay side by side under the moonlight, changes began to happen to their bodies. They grew rough amber coats and stiff long claws, and when dawn came, they woke and growled at the early light. Then the thick tails of 2 mighty lions swept the ground as they began hunting for their breakfast. From then on, Atalanta and Hippomenes lived together as lions deep in the woods.